The time is 12 o'clock and you're watching news analysis live on Politics and Business. The top stories. Crude oil supply. National Assembly probes 10 billion naira oil theft, summons NNPC Dangote. Violence in the name of protest crime, Matawale warns. Tinubu rallies NSA monarchs as hunger protest looms. Details coming up shortly. Welcome back. I am Amina Idris. Between January and July 2024, Nigeria lost an average of 437,000 barrels of crude oil daily, worth about $10 billion due to thefts, vandalism, and other criminal activities, the House of Representatives declared on Thursday. As a result, the House of Representatives Special Committee on Oil Theft and Losses commenced investigations into the illegal lifting of crude oil in Nigeria, as the Senate summoned the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Dangote Petroleum Refinery, and other major stakeholders in the oil sector for interrogation. The Senate vowed to expose those responsible for economic sabotage and the importation of toxic fuel into the country. At the House of Representatives, the event was declared open by the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, was attended by the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, and Inspector General of Police, who were all represented by senior officers accompanied by men drawn from the military formations. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has lamented that the proposed protest being planned from August 1st to 10th, 2024 is being led by faceless people as against previous protests where those behind them were known. He said it was strange that the protest organizers were unknown, challenging them to reveal themselves. The minister's comment comes amidst warnings from security agencies in the country against the nationwide protests in response to the economic hardship experienced in the country. In a statement on Thursday by the Director of Information, Ministry of Defense, Henshaw Obuike, he called on Nigerians to remain calm and ignore the planned national protests scheduled for next week. He reminded the protest planners and sponsors that their plans should not be drawn to thwart the efforts of the federal government to protect citizens from violence and to impose law and order. As such, would be counterproductive and unacceptable. And in the meantime, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held emergency meetings with the All Progressive Congress state governors, prominent traditional rulers, and Islamic religious scholars at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, as part of efforts by the government to ensure the planned hunger protest slated for August 1st to 10th is averted nationwide. The meetings come after growing calls for the anti-hunger protest following widespread economic hardships in the country. The protests, which are being organized under the hashtag End Bad Governance, have gained significant traction on social media, even as the organizers remain unknown, with no group officially claiming responsibility. President Tinubu first met with the APC governors under the aegis of the Progressive Governors Forum at the Presidential Villa, Abuja at 1 p.m. The meeting lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes. This meeting follows an earlier one by the Nigerian Governors Forum on Wednesday night and comes after a last-minute cancellation of the National Economic Council meeting earlier scheduled for Thursday afternoon. You're watching news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, protests. Why is the government afraid? CP Tajuddin Bakre, a retired commissioner of police, would be joining us in a moment to discuss the protests and why the government is afraid of the protests. This and more after the break. Welcome back. Since the announcement of the protest, the government has been up and doing as President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held emergency meetings with the All Progressive Congress state governors, prominent traditional rulers and Islamic religious scholars at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja, as part of efforts by the government to ensure the planned hunger protest slated for August 1st to 10th is averted nationwide. The meetings come after growing calls for the anti-hunger protest following widespread economic hardships in the country. The protests, which are being organized under the hashtag End Bad Governance, have gained significant traction on social media, even as the organizers remain unknown, with no group officially claiming responsibility. President Tinubu first met with the APC governors under the aegis of the Progressive Governors Forum at the Presidential Villa, Abuja at 1 p.m. The meeting lasted for about an hour and 15 minutes. The National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, Ministers of Finance and Budget and Economic Planning Wale Edun and Abubakar Bagudu respectively were at the meeting. The meeting with the prominent traditional rulers began at about 2:30 p.m. when the president arrived at the council chamber in the villa and ended at 4 p.m. The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, and the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Eniton Ogunwusi, led the royal fathers at the meeting, with Vice President Kashim Shettima, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume Ribadu, and Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, in attendance. Governor Abdulrazak Abdulrahman of Kwara State, who also doubles as the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, and Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, who chairs the Progressive Governors Forum, were part of the meeting. Edun and Bagudu also joined the president at the meeting. Afterwards, the president held another meeting with the ulamas, which ended after 6 p.m. With all these meetings that have been going on between the government and his cabinet members, state governments and religious leaders, does this mean the government is afraid of the protests? Joining us shortly will be CP Tajuddin Bakre, who will be discussing today's topic. We'll be back after the break. With me, I have CP Tajuddin Bakre, a retired commissioner of police. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
My first question for you today, sir, is why is the government glittery and afraid of protests, considering the fact that the president had led several protests in the past?
Well, I cannot categorically say what the government is afraid. But I would rather say that they take precautionary measures with respect to the protest by this bad government now in Nigeria. Yeah, it's not even categorically for now to show that actually the government is afraid. What I know is that process must be done in accordance with the legal framework. And the fact that right now, I think the president is having meeting in traditional class from the Southwest at the National Law. So that's why we know. Any other state you go to, we are yet to know what the government does.
Okay, so as a security expert, sir, are these indicators that the protest will be violent and disruptive? Are there indicators that the protest will be violent and disruptive?
Yes, it could turn to be violent, and it might not, depending on how both parties handle it. At the initial, I would have expected the organizers to inform the police force, the security agencies, that they are going to hold a protest, because it could be hijacked. You may have one intention, but it could be hijacked by hoodlums and even those who don't mean well for them. So it could actually turn to violence. I remember in 2001 or 2002, there was NLC protest in Abuja, and they informed the police. The police even escorted them around the whole of Abuja, and it was peaceful. By that, they were able to prevent this thing degenerating into violence. But then, you never can tell. Anything can happen. That's my take.
So, sir, since the announcement of this protest, government has been up and doing. Does this mean protest is the only language government understand in order to do the needful? Citing examples still from the Kenyan government and what just happened there recently.
Good. We cannot equate Kenya with Nigeria. The situations are different. Without prejudice to the right to protest, Kenya is not Nigeria. Nigeria is not Kenya. I think we should look at that from that angle. You understand? For instance, the issue of language does not come up in Kenya. They're all the same. They speak the same language. In Nigeria, we have, how many languages do you want to count? So they are two different. I expect the organizers and the government to look at it from that angle, but there are two different scenarios. And in what do you call it? In Kenya, there was a legislation which was passed and to be assented to. You understand point? And then the people came out against that particular legislation, view their experience of what is happening in their country. I don't begrudge them. But here in Nigeria, they want a total congendum in governance in Nigeria. And without prejudice to the government, we can see how quickly this issue of local government autonomy was passed. So that at least government will be closer to the people at that level. You follow my point?
Yes, sir. So there has been announcements that the Oro Festival will hold the same period the protests will hold. What is the security implication of this move?
On intelligence gathering, I think the government knows very well that one Oro comes out at night, not in the daytime. But we cannot rule out the possibility of government supporters treating the protest with the Oro Festival. But definitely the government itself knows that. In fact, there's nothing concerns the government with Oro Festival. I don't think the government should rely on Oro Festival. But you cannot rule out the possibility that it's government supporters that are flying that night.
Okay.
And then if you want to do Oro, we hope they will allow law-abiding citizens to go about their local business. And Oro doesn't come out in daytime; it comes out at night. And I don't think protests will be at night. Yep. So you can see the two. They just want to intimidate told people. The problem, but definitely the government knows that it cannot be involved in all up to that. That's an infringement on on the populace rights to association, freedom of association and freedom of information. We have one person's right stops, others start.
Begins, yes.
So let's not just discontinue the issue of Oro.
Okay. So the Oro cannot hinder the protest, and protest cannot hinder Oro.
The Oro cannot. The Oro cannot. In fact, I would expect the government, if any Oro should come out, the government should come out on the side of the protesters. But definitely, Oros don't come out even before midnight. Where will you see who's protesting at midnight? You understand my point?
Yes, yes.
That's just it.
So as we round up, what measures should security agencies put in place to ensure the protest is not hijacked by non-state actors?
Wow. I said it earlier. Any protest must be within the ambit of the law. That is, inform the police forces of what you want to do. The police don't really know. I know the Secretary of Police there is an able police officer. They will provide even security for the protesters. What about it? You understand? And by that, avoid the protest from being hijacked, because there is a potentiality for it to be hijacked. If when they work with the police, see the police, discuss with the police, then hold meeting with the police on the itinerary and so on and so forth. The police is capable, you can handle it. The way do not take them into confidence that we are foresee any problem from these good norms and those who don't even like the government genuinely. That's my thinking.
So, thank you very much for joining us on the program, sir. And that has been CP Tajuddin Bakri, a retired commissioner of police. Thank you for joining us at this time. I am Amina Idris, signing out.